regular session meeting to order. Roll call, please.
Mayor Romanek?
Here.
Commissioner Hewitt?
Here.
Commissioner Sui?
Here.
Vice Mayor Watson?
Here.
Commissioner Casabun?
Here.
Is Reverend Robinson? There you are. Can I please have Reverend Brian Robinson to deliver the invocation, followed by the salute of flag? Can we please stand?
Let's pray. Gracious and loving God, we gather tonight with gratitude for the city, for all those who serve in it, and for the opportunities you give us to work together for the common good. As these commissioners deliberate and decide on matters that affect the lives of many, grant them wisdom beyond their own, patience in their listening, and courage in their convictions. Remind us all, God, that true leadership is service, and that justice, mercy, and humility are not only ideals, but the path to peace and flourishing. Bless this meeting, the decisions made, and the people who are represented here. May everything done in this space be rooted in love for neighbor and a commitment to the dignity of all. In your holy name we pray. Amen.
I pledge allegiance
to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
This meeting is being conducted in accordance with the Oakland Public Meetings Act of 1975, was advertised, posted, and made available to the public as required by statute. The municipal clerk is directed to include a statement in the minutes of this meeting. Madam Clerk, are there any changes to the agenda?
There are none, Mayor.
Public comment on agenda items only. If anybody from the public would like to comment on agenda items, please come to the podium, state your name, address your concerns, and please limit those concerns to approximately 5 minutes. Thank you.
Evening, Tim Sperania. Question about the church rally. Am I right in saying there's not going to be any police presence there?
Go ahead and finish your questions. I'll answer
Okay.
what I can, Tim.
And in relation to that, is it my understanding that the city is not going to be participating with National Night Out?
I'll answer that one, too.
Okay. The reason being is that if the reason why you're not going to be participating, the city won't be with National Night Out because we don't have the coverage for that many people, 300 people in basically a small area, I don't see how that could be a safe environment when you have 300 people together. And it may be a lot more. From what I understand, there's going to be free food served. So it may be more than just three. I think that was the estimate, 300 people. I'm not sure. I could be wrong on that. But what I'm saying is in this time when we have this road work going on, that's going to be an avenue people are going to go down a route to avoid the traffic. And with no police presence, it could erupt into chaos. And I just don't want to see that happen. And if we're not going to do one because of either lack of manpower or lack of interest or whatever, and then allow this to happen in that area, isn't there another venue that they could use that would be more like where they do Fourth Fridays in the park or behind Lake House? Is there any way that, I just think that you're setting a powder keg. You're putting a powder keg that could potentially go off. And that's my only question. So thanks.
Wait till.
Rick Millville. Just to also touch on that real quick, I think it's a great event coming up, and I hope it goes very well. We do have traffic going through another property. The two of the exits are the school board property. I hope they were notified of. Hopefully you have hopefully they're on the insurance waiver as well.
Yeah.
And two, that's not an action plan. So hopefully you actually have an action plan. That's just showing you where the exits are. That's not an action plan. So, all right, very good. Like I said, I just want to make sure because those two exits, we're directing traffic through somewhere else. So, thank you.
Thanks, Rick.
Seeing no one else, I will close public comment on agenda items only. Do you want to address those right now? Go ahead, Commissioner Hewitt.
Tim, were you here at the commission meeting, at the work session? You had to go home? Okay. Nothing wrong with that.
As I explained, I have a whole package here. I have background checks. I have visits by our chiefs, by our officers, by everybody that does. There's nothing being done different with this activity that isn't done with all of them, even with our city-sponsored ones. I said earlier to Tamara, I am not the happiest in the world with where it is, but the commission's going to make the decision on letting this go or not. The only thing that I can tell you is this is also involved with the all-day long activities that we have every year out in what used to be Millville Gardens, where the churches and everybody are out there. Some of these folks are the security that works out there. Do we have police roaming in the area for that? Yes, we do. Will we have them roaming here in the area? Yes, we will. We're not going to ignore it. And we also will have UEZ officers, extra officers, working that night. They're already scheduled. So we're doing the best we can. And to just put it in my own words without signaling somebody out. I hope that answers your question. Rick, thank you. Yes, as you see here, we have a full plan with everybody that's involved in my department between PD, EMS, and fire. Hope that answers your questions.
Presentation, seeing none. Motion to pay the bills?
Make a motion to pay the bills.
Second motion.
Roll call, please.
Commissioner Hewitt?
Yes.
Vice Mayor Watson?
Yes.
Commissioner Casabun?
yes,
Commissioner Sui?
Yes.
Mayor Romanek?
Yes. Petitions and letters?
Motion to receive and file letter from Mayor Romanek appointing UEZ Administrator.
Make motion?
Second motion?
We have a motion and a second on petition and letters, item number 1. Any comments? Yes, Samantha Cruz has resigned her position as the assistant to the mayor. I have asked Assistant Engineer Michelle Northaff to be my mayor to the assistant mayor to the office of mayor. She took some time and accepted that position, so I look forward to working with Ms. Northaff for the remainder of this year. Roll call, please.
Commissioner Hewitt?
Yes.
Vice Mayor Watson?
Yes.
Commissioner Casabun?
yes,
Commissioner Sui?
Yes.
Mayor Romanek?
Yes.
Petitions and letters, item number 2. Motion to receive and file letter from Atlantic City Electric regarding pruning and removal of trees around electrical distribution facilities.
I make a motion,
Second motion?
We have a motion and a second on petitions and letters, item number 2. Any comments? Roll call, please.
Commissioner Hewitt?
Yes.
Vice Mayor Watson?
Yes.
Commissioner Casabun?
yes,
Commissioner Sui?
Yes.
Mayor Romanek?
Yes. Reports of commissioners. Commissioner Hewitt, go ahead.
Thank you, Mayor. Been a busy week throughout, busy 2 weeks. Once again, I have to signal out everybody, my whole public safety department, for what they're doing. We all know how they're working. We all know the manpower they're working with, or I should say, without. Summertime's coming. We do have the UEZ funded extra officers will be out and working, which is a positive for the city. We're not going to ignore activities that are going on. We're going to be there. We're going to be around. Rick, no, Tim, I missed it. I didn't answer you. I'll answer you now. Without getting too deep into the situation, myself and the chief and others in command at the PD made the decision at the beginning of the year to not have National Night Out this year. The fireworks that we already paid for, because it got rained out last year and canceled, that we have a credit for and are owed to us, Parks and Rec, Sam Cruz and the commissioner will be able to use them so we don't lose that credit for other activities within the city. That's all, Mayor.
Thank you, Commissioner Hewitt. Commissioner Sui.
Yeah, so on Wednesday, May 21st, we had our senior barbecue at the Elks. Barbecue was well attended. We want to thank all our sponsors. We look forward to seeing everyone again next year. On Friday, May 23rd, we had our first fourth Friday of the season, and we would like to thank everyone for coming out. Buck Park was filled with lots of laughter and fun. We hope to see everyone at our next fourth Friday. Our annual Phillies Home Run Derby was postponed till this Thursday, June 5th at 5 p.m. which will take place at the Rob Shannon Sports Complex, and this event is for children ages 7 to 12. On Saturday, June 7th, will be the fishing tournament at Corson Park. Registration starts at 9, and fishing takes place from 10 to 12 p.m. There will be 10 a.m. to 12 p.m. There will be awards for the most fish and the biggest fish. Have any questions, please don't hesitate to call the Recreation Department at 856-825-7000, extension 7394. I did some research from the statement that was made at the last meeting. Mr. Watson, you mentioned you met with Streets and Roads and decided not to pave Laurel Lake roads at this time. You stated engineering was too busy and you wanted to save money, and engineering is busy. But here are some facts. A bond was passed unanimously to pave roads in Laurel Lake. The commission voted 5-0 to hire engineering firms to assist the engineering department when necessary. Engineer is extremely busy. As Mr. Romnick said, the assistant municipal engineer is now the mayor's secretary, which definitely takes time. The lack of time to complete tasks is precisely the reason we hired engineering firms. It was the commission's decision to pave the roads. It is our job to make sure that we all follow through with the commission's decisions. I believe when the commission votes on something, we all have a duty to carry it out, whether we support it or not. The idea that Streets and Roads does not have time to perform the task necessary to facilitate the construction of those roads, I believe is preposterous. All the commissioners were sent an email, which pretty self-explanatory is why I believe it's preposterous. If you guys wish to stop the project, then we should vote on it. And if we vote on it, then fine, great. I don't believe it's the lack of manpower that's causing this project to get done. It's a lack of utilizing the resources that we have available to us. Progress.
Thank you, Commissioner Sui. Commissioner Casabun, go ahead.
Okay, recycling bags. Just a reminder that bags of yard waste only can contain leaves and grass. No brush or trash allowed in these yard waste bags, and not to be over 30 pounds. We all know that we can take our TVs and other electronic devices, dry cell batteries, cardboard that's clean, to 15th Street for disposal. Streets and Roads. 258 street sweeping tickets were written this month. 6,625 bags of loose leaves and grass clippings have been collected. 290 tons of brush was collected. There were 2 trees that fell across the road on Isabel Ave and Glasstime Road. These have been cut and hauled away. As of this morning, a brush crew is in Laurel Lake. Brush collection will be done once Laurel Lake is finished. And just a reminder, you will be able to put your brush to the curb in the last 2 weeks of August for September collection. And due to all the rain that we've been experiencing, there has been potholes popping up all over the place. So if you have any, please give us a call, 825-7000, extension 7388, and we'll get them filled as quickly as possible. Thank you. That's it.
And you, just to make it clear, you said brush will be allowed to be collected at the end of September?
Brush will be collected, yes, the last 2 weeks of August for September collection.
Last 2
Yes,
weeks of August,
yes.
yes. Chris Finch has been doing his job very well, as I've been getting complaints.
Yes, he has. He's been a busy boy.
Thank you for the updates.
Thank you.
Vice Mayor Watson, go ahead.
Bear with me, I'm kind of looking through my notes here. To comment on Commissioner Sui's remarks to Laurel Lake paving project, there was a deadline of June 30th that the engineering department is trying to put together an application for a grant that's going to cover multiple streets in the 8th, 9th, and 10th Street area. And I'm trying to see what that grant was. I just don't have it in front of me. And there was also an opportunity where we may be able to have availability for funding to supply the Laurel Lake area with water free of charge of the city. That also has a deadline coming up in July. I believe that July is the start of the fiscal year, and it's first come, first serve. So yeah, the decision was made to make sure that we apply for these grants, and to, instead of using the money for, outside engineering consultants, to use that money to do the most paving we can in Laurel Lake. I believe waiting a month or two to try to get these grant applications in is well worth it, as we're going to be getting funding to pave more roads and to, provide Laurel Lake with water. So I think it's very beneficial, and I think that's a good decision. And I'm going to stand by that. I'm sorry to, delay any projects. Sergeant Stadnick, always great with communication. He wants to let everybody know that the NJDOT and the contractors will be working on the paving project between the bridge and Mount Pleasant Cemetery starting at 6:30 tonight. Take that in accountability as you guys are headed home. And also, thank you, Stadnick, for always reaching out and letting us know what's going on.
He does send out daily updates.
Yeah, he's fantastic. I want to give a shout out to our sewer department. In recent weeks, during one of the rounds, an airline was found that was burst inside of a sludge holding tank. And I remember being in this tank a long time ago, and this is a very dirty job. It's very time consuming. And, to give those guys some credit for, trying to save the city some money. These guys are going in there, they're cleaning them themselves, using their hands and removing rags from these lines. It's saving the city a lot of money. So just a big thank you to them guys for doing labor intensive, and it's a very dirty job. So thank you to those guys. With comments from the residents, a couple steps that we took to try to communicate with the residents about the meters, the meter installation through Meter Tech. You have some residents receive notifications, but now there's an alert on the city webpage, and also we're looking into like door knockers or sending out some kind of other notifications. But as we said before, it costs money, so we're just trying to evaluate that. I do have some updates from engineering, and just reading through them real quick. I got to follow up on them. I don't want to talk too much on the potential project to supply water to Laurel Lake without asking my questions first. But one thing I did want to bring up, as we talked about it before, is the dewatering project. We have a couple dates from AECOM, and they're working on the estimate to expect for costs to move forward with the bidding phase. So that's good news. And as soon as I get some more information on that, it's something else I'll bring to the commission. And we are moving forward with Council 18 union negotiations. Hopefully, we should have something on the next meeting for them. Thank you for everybody involved, including payroll and finance. Every time we have a meeting, questions get asked, and we try to, put numbers together. And it's a lot of work, and some of it's unexpected with some things that come up. So thank you to all of them. I think just to save a little bit of time here, I think I'm going to end with that. Thank you.
Thank you, Vice Mayor Watson. There will be no zoning board this Thursday. Planning board will take place on June 9th at 6:30 here in this commission chambers. Residents are encouraged to participate in a community needs survey available on the city website. The survey can be found on the homepage under latest news. 372 rental inspections in the month of May, with 152 code violation notices issued for a total of 290 code violations. Some of the events towards the end of the month of May that I said I was going to attend: May 21st, Senior Citizens Barbecue. They switched from chicken to pulled pork. I didn't receive any complaints. It looked very tasty. Thank you to TNT Barbecue for doing all the cooking. Later that night, I did attend the Teen Arts Festival at the Levoy. Congratulations to all of Cumberland County and Cape May County students that did participate for the Teen Arts Festival. 22nd of May was the Pride in Millville. Congratulations to Mr. Craig Atkinson for being named the Pride in Millville Reward recipient. May 23rd was the 48th Olympic Day Parade. I thank Commissioner Cosboon for walking that and attending it, as well as Neil Brannon for taking his multiple pictures and beating us to the end, taking your shortcuts through the city. But we all get our steps in, and weather held off, and it was very nice. Probably the nicest weather in the most recent years. 28th was the Memorial Day Parade. I thank all the groups that made it out there, participated, all the residents that lined the streets, from the Legion onto High and then High to the bridge. We were able to contact DOT speaking about the upcoming street paving project, but thank you, Vice Mayor, for saying that. So residents, do please take your time going home today, heading westbound from City Hall. But also, we did contact DOT to make sure that they weren't starting the bridge replacement project on Memorial Day. You never know what the state will do. But Memorial Day Parade, like I said, was well attended all the way through and to Mount Pleasant Cemetery. We did have a small audio issue, but it will get worked out in the future. But I thank everyone, all the residents that were attended. I can estimate probably close to 300 or so. I know there was an awful lot of people, and it was a great turnout to remember all those that gave the ultimate sacrifice. 29th, I did attend the dog tags and green flags. It was a little cloudy, but a little more information of that. They use the fundraising capabilities to train disabled veterans on the use of drone technology and drones in many applications that are needed throughout. And I met the very first guy. He was a retired Air Force veteran, and he was the participant number 001 of the successful training drone program that this Dog Tags and Green Flags initiative provided for veterans. On the 30th of May, I attended the 3rd annual Spring Soiree in Cape May, helping the town of Lutsk, Ukraine. In the 3 years, they have raised over $750,000, all the proceeds going to Lutsk, Ukraine. I was there, that was my first year, well attended at Elaine's in Cape May. I have zero sense of directions down in Cape May, but I was able to find it and had a great conversation with the Cape May City Mayor, Zach Mullock. So Zach, thank you for being there. And great learning a little bit about that organization and more of Cape May. Ordinances in the first reading.
We do have one ordinance for second reading.
Nope, ordinances in the second reading. I drove past that.
Ordinance of the City of Millville, County of Cumberland, New Jersey, appropriating certain unexpended proceeds of the sale of previously issued bonds and notes to finance the cost of additional capital improvements and taking related actions. And there is a public hearing, Mayor.
Make a motion.
Second motion.
We have a motion and a second on ordinance with second reading item number 1. I will now open it up to public hearing. If anybody from the public would like to comment on ordinance in the second reading item number 1, please come to the podium. Seeing no one, I will close public comment. Comments of commissioners? Roll call, please.
Commissioner Hewitt?
Yes.
Vice Mayor Watson?
Yes.
Commissioner Casabun?
yes,
Commissioner Sui?
Yes.
Mayor Romanek?
Yes. Now, ordinance is the first reading.
Ordinance for first reading, item number 1, an ordinance approving and authorizing an application to the Cumberland County Roadway Department for Millville Girls Softball League to hold a coin drop on July 19th and 20th, 2025 at the intersections of Buckshootum Road and Cedarville Road.
Make a motion?
Second.
Roll call, please.
Commissioner Hewitt?
Yes.
Vice Mayor Watson?
Yes.
Commissioner Casabun?
yes,
Commissioner Sui?
Yes.
Mayor Romanek?
Yes.
Ordinance for first reading, item number 2, an ordinance approving and authorizing an application to the Cumberland County Roadway Department for Holly City Youth Football League to hold a coin drop on July 26th and 27th, 2025 at the intersections of Buckshootum Road and Cedarville Road.
Make a motion?
Second.
Motion and second on the ordinance in first reading item number 2. Any comments? Roll call, please.
Commissioner Hewitt?
Yes.
Vice Mayor Watson?
Yes.
Commissioner Casabun?
yes,
Commissioner Sui?
Yes.
Mayor Romanek?
Yes.
Ordinance for first reading, item number 3, an ordinance accepting the dedication of certain streets located in Laurel Lake.
Make a motion.
Second motion.
Motion and second for ordinance in the first reading item number 3. Any comments? Roll call, please.
Commissioner Hewitt?
Yes.
Vice Mayor Watson?
Yes.
Commissioner Casabun?
yes,
Commissioner Sui?
Yes.
Mayor Romanek?
Yes. Resolutions, please.
Resolution item number 1, a resolution requesting approval of items of revenue and appropriation, NJDEP 2022 Recycling Tonnage Grant.
make a motion,
Second motion.
We have motion and second on resolution item number 1. Any comments? Roll call, please.
Commissioner Hewitt?
Yes.
Vice Mayor Watson?
Yes.
Commissioner Casabun?
yes,
Commissioner Sui?
Yes.
Mayor Romanek?
Yes.
Resolution item number 2, a resolution requesting approval of items of revenue and appropriation, NJDEP Clean Communities Program.
Make the motion.
Second.
We have motion and second on resolution item number 2. Any comments? Yes, this was the check that was awarded. It's in my office. I'll post a picture outside City Hall on one of these nice upcoming days of that nice little check in the sum of $83,045.39. Glad to see we're getting on the ball and using it right away. Roll call, please.
Commissioner Hewitt?
Yes.
Vice Mayor Watson?
Yes.
Commissioner Casabun?
yes,
Commissioner Sui?
Yes.
Mayor Ramnick.
Yes.
Resolution item number 3, resolution authorizing water and sewer termination due to non-payment for utility bills due February 1st.
Make a motion.
Second motion.
We have motion and second on resolution item number 3. Any comments? Roll call, please.
Commissioner Hewitt?
Yes.
Vice Mayor Watson?
Yes.
Commissioner Casabun?
yes,
Commissioner Sui?
Yes.
Mayor Ramnick.
Yes.
Resolution item number 4, resolution authorizing water and sewer termination due to non-payment for utility bills due March 1st.
Make a motion.
Second motion.
We have motion and second. Roll call, please.
Commissioner Hewitt?
Yes.
Vice Mayor Watson?
Yes.
Commissioner Casabun?
yes,
Commissioner Sui?
Yes.
Mayor Ramnick.
Yes.
Resolution item number 5, resolution to award a non-fair and open contract for support and maintenance of computer hardware and software to Edmunds GovTech.
Make motion on resolution item number 5. With that, I do have certification of availability of funds in the contracted amount of $54,179.60, signed by our CFO, Susan Quinones.
Second motion.
We have a motion and second on resolution item number 5. Any comments? Roll call, please.
Commissioner Hewitt?
Yes.
Vice Mayor Watson?
Yes.
Commissioner Casabun?
yes,
Commissioner Sui?
Yes.
Mayor Ramnick.
Yes.
Resolution item number 6, resolution of the Commissioners of the City of Millville authorizing a public fireworks display.
Make the motion, and with that, I have certification of funds in the amount of $20,000, signed by our Chief Financial Officer, Susan Quinones.
Second motion.
We have a motion and second on resolution item number 6. Any comments? Looking forward to the use of them. Roll call, please.
Commissioner Hewitt?
Yes.
Vice Mayor Watson?
Yes.
Commissioner Casabun?
yes,
Commissioner Sui?
Yes.
Mayor Ramnick.
Yes.
Resolution item number 7, resolution authorizing the award of a state contract to Rico USA Inc. for lease of 8 copiers.
Make motion on resolution item number 7. With that, I do have certification of availability of funds in the contracted amount of $12,616.28, signed by our CFO, Susan Quinones.
Second motion.
We have a motion and second on resolution item number 7. Any comments? Roll call, please.
Commissioner Hewitt?
Yes.
Vice Mayor Watson?
Yes.
Commissioner Casabun?
yes,
Commissioner Sui?
Yes.
Mayor Ramnick.
Yes.
Resolution item number 8, resolution to award a non-fair and open contract for fire hydrants, Core and Main LP.
Make the motion, and with that, I have certification of funds in the amount of $39,288, signed by our Chief Financial Officer, Susan Quinones.
Second motion.
We have a motion and second on resolution item number 8. Any comments? Roll call, please.
Commissioner Hewitt?
Yes.
Vice Mayor Watson?
Yes.
Commissioner Casabun?
yes,
Commissioner Sui?
Yes.
Mayor Ramnick.
Yes.
Resolution item number 9, resolution to award a contract to MGS Inc. for purchase of cargo trailers.
make a motion, and with that, I have certification of funds for $47,480, signed by his Chief Financial Officer, Susan Quinones.
Second the motion.
We have motion and second on resolution item number 9. Any comment? Comments? Roll call, please.
Commissioner Hewitt?
Yes.
Vice Mayor Watson?
Yes.
Commissioner Casabun?
yes,
Commissioner Sui?
Yes.
Mayor Ramnick.
Yes.
Resolution item number 10, resolution authorizing amendment number 1 to multi-temp mechanical contract.
Make motion on resolution item number 10. With that, I do have certification of availability of funds in amount of $50,000 with a new not to exceed of $140,000, signed by our CFO, Susan Quinones.
Second motion.
We have motion and second on resolution item number 10. Any comments? Roll call, please.
Commissioner Hewitt?
Yes.
Vice Mayor Watson?
Yes.
Commissioner Casabun?
yes,
Commissioner Sui?
Yes.
Mayor Ramnick.
Yes.
Resolution item number 11, resolution authorizing amendment number 2 to Millville Glass and Door contract.
Make motion on resolution item number 11. With that, I have certification of availability of funds in the contracted amount of $25,000, signed by our CFO, Susan Quinones.
Second motion.
We have a motion and a second on resolution item number 11. Any comments? Roll call, please.
Commissioner Hewitt?
Yes.
Vice Mayor Watson?
Yes.
Commissioner Casabun?
yes,
Commissioner Sui?
Yes.
Mayor Romanek?
Yes.
Resolution item number 11, resolution authorizing, oh, sorry.
12.
12. Resolution item number 12, resolution to award cooperative contract to Train Technologies for purchase of City Hall chiller.
Make motion.
Certification of funds.
I don't have it.
Send.
Make motion, and with that, I have a certification of funds in the amount of $79,765, signed by our Chief Financial Officer, Susan Quinones.
Second motion.
We have a motion and a second on resolution item number 12. Any comments?
Yeah, fixing this air conditioning system.
It's working pretty
Moving
good
on.
right now.
Well, here it is, not the whole building. Sixth floor was a little toasty this afternoon. As
We
I was
run odd
told.
and even.
Yeah. So, duly needed. Roll call, please.
Commissioner Hewitt?
Yes.
Vice Mayor Watson?
Yes.
Commissioner Casabun?
yes,
Commissioner Sui?
Yes.
Mayor Romanek?
Yes.
Resolution item 13, resolution authorizing tax and utility adjustments.
Make motion.
Second motion.
We have a motion and a second on resolution item number 13. Roll call.
Commissioner Hewitt?
Yes.
Vice Mayor Watson?
Yes.
Commissioner Casabun?
yes,
Commissioner Sui?
Yes.
Mayor Romanek?
Yes.
Resolution item number 14, resolution appointing municipal assessment search officer.
Make motion.
Second motion.
We have a motion and a second on resolution item number 14. Any comments? Roll call, please.
Commissioner Hewitt?
Yes.
Vice Mayor Watson?
Yes.
Commissioner Casabun?
yes,
Commissioner Sui?
Yes.
Mayor Romanek?
Yes.
Resolution item number 15, resolution approving an emergency relocation agreement with Suburban Studios Millville.
Make motion.
Second.
We have a motion and a second on resolution item number 15. Any comments?
Yes, just in case anybody has questions out there. This is for like when we have a fire and we need to relocate residents because of their temporary loss of their home. It's a limited time, but we have to keep this up to date every year.
Understood. Roll call, please.
Commissioner Hewitt?
Yes.
Vice Mayor Watson?
Yes.
Commissioner Casabun?
yes,
Commissioner Sui?
Yes.
Mayor Romanek?
Yes. New business.
New business item number 1, motion to authorize the following special event on public lands, application pending approvals. Pray for My Hood Christian Outreach, sponsored by Minister Angel Soto at Dwelling Place Church on June 20th, 2025, from 4 p.m. to 10 p.m.
Make motion.
Second motion.
We have a motion and a second on new business item number 1. Any comments?
Yes. So I've heard the concerns of two residents, one against it, one whose questions seemed to be answered. Concern of one resident for it. So if there were several residents in the neighborhood that were going to be against it, then I would probably not support it. But since there's only one, nobody else said anything. And you've answered all the questions and you've got the approvals of the police department, the fire
To the best I
department,
could, yep.
health department, all the other stuff you needed to do.
Moving forward. Thank you.
Roll call, please.
Commissioner Hewitt?
Yes.
Vice Mayor Watson?
Yes.
Commissioner Casabun?
yes,
Commissioner Sui?
Yes.
Mayor Romanek?
Yes. Public comment portion. We have now reached the public comment portion of our meeting. Anyone who would like to address the commission, please go to the podium, state your name, and address your concerns. Please limit your comments to approximately 5 minutes.
Hi, Noel Brannon, Dorset Avenue, Millville. I just want to thank everybody supporting. A couple commissioners came out and our Parks representative to Millville Soccer's Family Fun Day, which was supposed to be our last day of the season, but due to some rainouts and stuff, it was not the last day, so it was a little interrupted, but everybody, I think, had a good time anyway. And then also switching gears, so the season just ended Saturday or Sunday, depending if you were a travel team, and had some rainouts to make up. And then Sunday, our fall season registration opened. So if anybody is interested in playing for the fall season, it's open to boys and girls with birth years 2011 to 2021. That's our recreation program. So under 5 to under 15, we have 4 age groups that they can play in. The season will start in September, but we have to do the registration. The registration will be open until July 31st. If you register in June, you get an early discount. Thanks.
Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Brannon.
Thank you.
Good evening. My name is Steve Soloff, and I run the website informthevoteng.com, a nonpartisan project focused on helping voters make sense of who's on the ballot and what they stand for, particularly here in Cumberland County. I'm here tonight to inform the commission, the public, and all candidates in the upcoming Millville election that I will be covering the race. And let me be clear, this is not just an announcement. It's a reality check and a call to action. This fall, the race here in Millville will have, to my understanding, over 20 candidates running for city commission, not to mention other county and state races. That's a massive field, and the average citizen doesn't have the time or, frankly, the access to properly research them all. But I do. That's the work I've been doing voluntarily for the past 2 years. And if the community wants that kind of work to continue, it's time to speak up. Be vocal, be supportive, because I can't do it all alone, and I shouldn't have to. Now, let's talk about the elephant in the room. It's become undeniably clear that my early suspicions were correct. Maybe not people in this room, but many local candidates in the county and officials have actively avoided engaging with this work. And sure, I understand some of the reasons why. Trust takes time, but we've had time. So let's be honest. When candidates say things like, well, how big is your following? Or when they ignore phone calls, emails, mailers, and personal outreach because it feels spammy, that's not about trust, that's evasion. And let's be even more honest. Evasion is no longer just something I quietly notice. It's something I can now openly document, and I will, because when someone evades a press inquiry meant to help voters, it's not just about me. It's about the public's right to know. Everyone agrees that Cumberland County needs more press coverage. Everyone agrees voters should be informed, but that doesn't happen by accident. It happens because people step up to provide that service, and because others respect and support that effort. Press access isn't a favor. It's not a popularity contest. It's a public service, and it's protected by the Constitution. So the real question for everyone in the room is, do we actually want honest, neutral local coverage or not? Because if we do, then it's time to start treating it like something that matters. Thanks.
Thank you, Steve.
Good evening. My name's Rich DeAlmeida. I reside at 317 Sharp Street in Millville. I'm here because I have several concerns. My first being that it appears that laws in Millville are merely suggestions. I live on the corner of Sharp and Church. I'm a disabled vet. I'm home all day. I live on a one-way street, yet I see traffic going both ways. I've lived in that home going on 34 years next month. I have spoken with Chief Harvey. It's been through the entire line. They've sent public safety officers to the Wawa. They had a marked car sit there, and then the marked car, they call me and tell me no one went out the wrong way. I said, of course, you had a marked car. I heard potholes being discussed. I hit a pothole last year and lost a tire. I was told that if I went to City Hall, or if I went to Streets and Roads and reported it, that I could be reimbursed if I had gotten a police report and all this other crap. My issue is a street sweeper goes down my road twice a week with a cat in a car to write the tickets for the people parked on the road. You didn't see the effing pothole twice a week, 52 weeks a year, and then I hit it and I have to report it? Nonsensical. The illegal parking, people parking in handicap zones, people parking in the yellow curb, right to the corner where you can't see. E-bikes, scooters. When I was 16 riding a moped, if I didn't have a helmet, well, regardless if I had a helmet, the moped was being impounded. I've got a-holes zipping back and forth. There's no concern. If I hit them, I'm going to lose my license. I'm going to be sued. What happens to them? Nothing. Beggars and panderers outside behind canals, homeless, need money. Well, go to Five Guys and fill out an application and cook a freaking hamburger, and then you'll get some money. I go to the Walgreens. There's people pandering outside. A brand new starter jacket, wearing Air Jordans, but he needs money. And amazingly, I wasn't the one that even brought it up amongst the 15 other customers in the Walgreens that these women were frightened. They didn't want to go outside because there's a Mexican male about 23, I'm being racist. He was some kind of Brazilian Latino. Let's see. My final issue is, I don't know what happened with, I had a summer where we had rain and my fence needed to be painted, but I couldn't paint it because it continued to rain. And I got a nasty gram from the city. Well, I don't have that issue. I just re-sided my home. Yet my neighbors have asbestos siding, and where the asbestos siding fell off, they put corrugated plastic. I feel like I live in freaking Honduras. The roads are bumpy, the houses look like huts. Yeah, what happened to Millville? I wasn't born here. I was born in Newark, New Jersey. I chose to make Millville my home. I married a woman from Millville. I love the city. I go to Third Friday. There's a vagrant laying on a park bench where there used to be a fountain. There used to be a fountain and bands playing. Here there's somebody curled up in a sleeping bag with a shopping cart full of cans. There's no repercussions for anybody's actions in this city. You do what you want and you get away with it and nobody gives a rat's ass. So I just needed to get things off my chest. I've spoken with the mayor. I love this mayor. He's a good mayor. He's a good man and he gives a damn. And I've spoken with him several times about this.
Rich,
but
just
I
please
needed
watch
to
the
come
language.
here and get it off my chest. So thank you for listening to me.
Good evening again, Tim Sperania. Vice Mayor, the projects that are going on in the engineering department are fantastic because that means Millville's infrastructure, which we badly need, is getting improved. I wanted to ask you about the paving in Laurel Lake because there's a follow-up story to that. But anyway, is the bond that you guys passed, that you voted on 5-0, are they tied together with the grant you're seeking? Are they? So they can be used independently, right? So you can. Okay. The reason why I say this is because recently, everybody's no big secret. I support the Republican Party. I was recently walking in Laurel Lake, and one of the common complaints was that Laurel Lake is Millville's redheaded stepchild, and as far as I'm concerned, I look down the future. Laurel Lake it can be a viable asset to Millville, a rateable producing, great place to go. I mean, and I think for a large part, Laurel Lake, Millville side gets a bad rap. But they always think if you had been at the September 9th planning board meeting, you would know we were there until 10:45. They are not, they just feel like they've been abused and used. And if you have the money to start this project, and you don't have to have the grant tied to that, we should be starting that. I mean, they are looking for, viability down there. My other question is, Mayor, how many hours a week does your assistant apply herself to being your assistant? In other words, and the reason I'm asking is how long is she away from the engineering department? Because she is the assistant municipal engineer, right? So when you take her away from those duties, then stuff gets backed up even more. If it's, the only reason I'm asking you the hours is because it may be nothing, maybe no time at all, but that's something to think about. So thanks. Have a good night.
Thank you, Tim.
Thanks, Tim.
Hi, Greg Kears for 9 Peach Drive. I just wanted to say that, saying this as a resident, I'm not saying this professionally. So this past Friday, I took a ride, because it was a beautiful evening, I think everyone knows, downtown on my bike. As most of you know, I live out by the airport. So I took a ride down, rode through City Park, rode down High Street, rode around 2nd, 3rd, I don't know, a couple hours on the road, and I gotta say, it was absolutely beautiful. And the thing that, like I said, I'm saying this as a resident, it's a shame that that Riverwalk isn't open anymore, because it's just such an underutilized asset, and could have been able to get into where the eagles have nests, and you could have watched from my bike. And I'm a birder, and that's a big thing. And Cumberland County wants to talk about warehouses all the time, but you guys forget that we have these beautiful natural resources all around us that can be monetized if you do it the right way. But also, a personal aside, shout out Stephen. Your sister told me about this 2 years ago, and you were going to start, and it's been amazing watching you set it up, man. So congrats.
Thank you, Greg.
Mary Messick here of Millville. Bouncing off of what a gentleman had said about some of the things that he had to get off of his chest, I myself have seen it. I've seen people walk down the street, got a wrapper in their hand, just drop it down. Today, I happened to be out with a friend of mine over on Canal Street by the boat ramps. You can see somebody, whether they had a picnic or they just emptied their car, all over the place. No trash cans around. That makes that area look scummified or trashy. The city's not a dump. This is a city. Whether anybody wants it to call it a city or not, because of the land-wise, yes, we became a city. Other than that, technically, we are a borough. I have seen where we've done with very little, and we've done a lot with a little bit. And personally, to do away with National Night Out, I think is an atrocity. The city at one point in time spent 11 years not participating. And there are organizations and groups and things out there that people may need or know that don't even exist, much let alone how to go about obtaining them. And that was part of what National Night Out was. It brought people together to give them the information that they didn't know existed. Just like we've got a training school here in Millville. Grant you, it's out by the airport. Nobody seems to know about it. Nobody seems to care. On the news, they've talked about, it used to be push the kid to college. Not everybody wants a college career. There's electricians that are needed. There's plumbers that are needed. There's construction people that are needed. Teach these kids a trade. Not everybody wants a college education, nor anybody can afford it. Give them something that can utilize themselves. And I agree, there are way too many panhandlers, and I know there's nothing on the books, because I've looked. Nothing on the books that regulate panhandlers. Stores, half of them don't even want to participate with sending them to court. because they're not going to pay their employee because corporate says so. We need to find a way of doing something. And out there by the boat ramps, I do believe it should have trash cans. And speaking of potholes, coming from Main Street, turning onto Sharp Street, heading down towards like the dam, there is a very good-sized pothole. You don't see it till you feel it. And you can just about lose an axle, a tie rod, or whatnot. And I thank you for your time.
Thank you, Ms. Mezek.
Hello, Rick Millville. Just a couple things. It's outstanding that you're getting those grants, and they're not easy. They're a long process. Sometimes they're above the pay grade that we're asking people to apply them for. Just ever thought, do we have grant writers? Why don't we use grant writers? There's companies that actually do this for us, and I'm just curious why we don't use them. I just feel like if we have utilized those companies that a lot of times pay for themselves, that will free up a lot of our engineers to do the work that they're actually here for. Because listen, I tried to write grants before, and it's not easy sometimes depending on what you're doing, and it's time consuming, especially the administrative part of it. So just a thought. National Night Out, I get it. We have nobody working anymore, right? We're down to 5. But it is a little heartbroken, right? I helped get the first one we had going a couple years ago when we started back up. It's just a little disappointing not to see it, but I do understand that part. Contracts, I mean, we're still, I think, a year and a half out on a couple of them now. Seems like every meeting we have an update. I think the SOA still hasn't settled. And I don't think Council 18, you might want to talk to some people today because that might not be going on soon either. Just a little discouraging. It's a year and a half. We talk about being shorthanded, yet we're struggling with taking care of our own employees with contract. Thank you.
Thank you, Rick.
Thank you, Rick.
Robert McQuaid, Millville. Ms. Costa, that pothole she's talking about, that's going to be on Sharp Street. It's a county
That is
road,
correct.
so you can either fix it and then you can bill the county or call county and have them fix it. That's going to be a problem with county. I mean, Wayne might say it's county, but it needs to be fixed because when my car hit it too, and it sunk down pretty good, and it's right by sidelines. With Rich over here when he's speaking, he does speak the truth. There was actually a pothole he did have when I was commissioner, and it blew his tire out pretty bad and caused some damage. I actually came out of my pocket at the time because I was a new commissioner and purchased the new tire for him. So the issues that he complains about in that area, they are a problem, and they are very close to Woodland Shores in the area I live at as well, and some of the riffraff comes over there as well, and houses have been robbed. So, I mean, I seen tonight some foot patrol officers out, so thumbs up to you. They're walking High Street, and that's what we need. If you have more patrol and more uniforms out there on the streets, there's less for crime level. When I was a Class 1 here from Millville, Harvey used to have us out walking from the station through 6th Street through the 3rd Ward, and that was pretty much keeping the crime level down, which it did. Now, a lot of Class 1s, they don't carry guns, but we walked out areas, and they were shooting in different areas. But it all kind of calmed down because Bike Patrol was out there as well. So I hope we can get them back out this year. I'm sure the officers will like it, but I know you got the foot patrol out now. So the bike's going to go out or not? I'm curious. And
Bikes are used when they're used.
Are they, okay. All right. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. McQuaid. Seeing no one else, I will close public comment portion. Closing comments of commissioners. Commissioner Hewitt.
A lot of wrap up with here. Tim, I think I answered your stuff earlier. No, good showing out there at the soccer fields. We were glad to have some support out there for you, you know, just with the ambulance being there and stuff like that. It was actually needed when I was out there at that time. They refused help, but it was needed. Steve, what you're doing, I saw what you did during our campaign and stuff like that. You know, congratulations. Somebody needs to open people's eyes. Rich, I hear you. And I'm going to repeat myself just like I do all the time, just like the next public safety director that will sit in this chair. I wish I could give you the answer, because it is not for the lack of my police personnel and the Cumberland County Sheriff, who is now sending sheriffs here to help us. It is not for lack of wanting to do it on our part. This goes much deeper than Millville PD and Cumberland County Sheriff.
Sir, I know.
Excuse me, Rich, this is the time for the commissioner.
All we can do is answer now, you know.
Thank you.
Go ahead, Commissioner Hewitt.
Just catch up. Tim, I think I took care of all yours earlier. Mary, yeah, I hear you. Same thing. You know what we're doing. You've been here for decades. Nothing's changed, has it?
Nope,
So how do we change it?
work on it,
Tonight, we got a good amount of people up here.
work on
You
it.
know, and we try to answer as many questions as we can answer. I think you're seeing that change up here. First way you change it is we start paying people. How do we pay people? Nobody in this room is going to say the answer because they don't want to hear raise taxes. That's how we pay people. We have a limited amount of money. We're doing the best we can do. You know that, Mary. You're out there. I see you out there. Thank you for staying involved. Rick, I know you wrote grants. Other people over there write grants. People at the firehouse write grants. That's how we do it. You know that. I think most of the residents in town know that. No, we don't have a grant writer. There's grant writers out there who work on a percentage. They've been brought forward to other commissions and this commission. We don't have a grant writer. Maybe that's something the next commission can look at, because it's sadly needed. National Night Out, there was just nothing. You know the inside of PD. Like I say, this wasn't just, we didn't just decide to do this. This was a long discussion on making this decision. And I don't like this going either. And contracts, I can't go there, I'm sorry. Wish I could, but I can't. With that, folks, thanks for showing up. Bring some friends next time. We got a whole area open over here. With that, progress, Mayor.
Thank you, Commissioner Hewitt. Commissioner Sui, go ahead.
First of all, it definitely wasn't the commission's idea not to have National Night Out. So it's unfortunate that that's not occurring. Steve, you serve your interviews I find fair, I find them frank, I find them honest, and I hope that all the candidates participate. I know when I did, you were very fair, you were very honest, as well as I saw some of the others you did, online. So I hope, because we have no newspaper, as you said, that's a problem. I'll touch on the crime for a minute. I can certainly understand what you're saying, and I can tell you this. A lot of it, our hands get tied by the Attorney General, by our prosecutor. The gentleman invited himself into my house. Had, I believe, 17 prior offenses. I want to know why the hell he wasn't in jail already.
Yep.
Right? So they let him out, they run around, and this is a result of your votes, they're not necessarily yours, some of your votes, on who you elect at the county and state level.
Yep.
You got to be careful with that. You elect people that say, hey, we're going to let people run around, we're going to do bail reform, we're going to let people out of jail. This is what you're going to get. So, it's unfortunate that the officers arrest somebody, take them in, and the bail reform law says, okay, you can go. How much time you want to waste? So that's extremely unfortunate, and I urge you to be careful at the ballot box. You have an election coming up, decide who's going to serve your interest the best. Now, let's see if I can understand my own handwriting here. So to Laurel Lake, as you said, Mr. Spragnan, we have plenty of roads to pave. There's a whole list in engineering. If you walk in there, if you can get in the door, you get to the counter, you'll see a list on the back wall. There's got to be 11 roads up there. And sure, can we use grant money from any of them? Yes. We allocated the bond because I said that when we did it, when I started the water project. The problem with Laurel Lake is you can't put cesspools next to your well. So the idea is run the water, and I'm glad that's proceeding, but run the water so that now you don't have to worry about what you're drinking. And that allows you to utilize lots effectively. As for the roads, you're right, they're redheaded stepchildren down there. That was the idea from the beginning. I know Mr. Watson wasn't here in the very beginning of the commission, is to start getting those roads paved. That is a beautiful area. They pay plenty of taxes. They deserve to have those roads paved. And what concerns me is when you're waiting for grant money, you're not going to get it all. So I believe we should be using that grant money for the other roads, since we've already allocated the money for Laurel Lake, and I'm sure we've already issued notes because we have already started paying down there. So I don't know how much of that money we're paying interest on, but we're definitely paying interest on some of it. Now, that brings me to the last meeting. So, you know, hold on, I'm going to get the right piece of paper here. Possible. Where did it go? Give me 1 second, folks. Sorry to waste time like this.
You need a secretary there, Mr.
I do need a secretary. I should hire one. So when you get to speak after someone at the end of these meetings, that gives you a great advantage. And it's a disadvantage to sometimes speak before someone. And this is particularly true when I believe erroneous or false information is given out by a subsequent speaker. At the last meeting, it was mentioned by the Director of Revenue and Finance and the City Solicitor that the tax court could simply erase the erroneous entry in the budget, and the budget problem would be, quote, fixed. I'll explain to you why this isn't true. First, let's look at how the budget basically works. You have revenue or income and expenses, which are listed as appropriations. Revenue includes fees such as dog licenses, construction fees, state aid, grants, and of course, taxes. Appropriations are all expenses. They must be balanced out. So for the city, you figure out how much your expenses are, you subtract all the revenue except taxes, and this leaves you an amount which must be raised by taxes. So taxes are calculated on the value of your total rateables. So if you have $1 billion of rateables, you're going to calculate the tax rate at one rate. If you have $1.019 billion, that rate is going to be different, and that's going to determine what you pay. So when you say that you have more rateables than you actually have, everyone pays less because your share is smaller. In other words, your house is a smaller share of the total than if you had those $19 million. So when you don't have those rateables and you have less rateables, you actually have to pay more. And the only place you can get that is from the taxpayer. And that's going to go for the county and school taxes as well. That money is going to come out of your pocket because they give you the money, they give you the budget, and you pay it. So you're not going to fix the problem. You're going to move it to next year. Now, whether you get lucky enough and create enough rateables to offset this is a guessing game. But this creates a shortage in revenue, and this will cause a tax increase. And with the amount of money that we are short in the budget, that's approximately 5 cents per hundred, or $50 for every $100,000 your house is worth. This is in addition to any other increases, many which can't be controlled by the commission. We talk about contracts, there's going to be increases in cost there. There's going to be increases in cost in electric, certainly. You're looking at 17 to 20% increase in electric, right? There's going to be increases in health benefits. It's unavoidable. So next year we'll be starting at a disadvantage, and that's unfortunate for whoever gets elected. Several candidates in here. So as you start planning, I'm sure some of you are already planning to win, keep that in mind and start thinking about it. And I'm certainly willing to talk to anybody that wants to listen. Resident, opposing candidates, anybody up here. But one thing is this did make me think, and I know you're fond of quotes there, Mr. Mayor. So if we are to believe what was said at the last meeting concerning that, I'm going to quote Kamala Harris, and that is, we are unburdened by what has been. Now, I don't believe that for a second, but there we go. And with that, progress.
Commissioner Cosman.
Yes. Greg, I agree with you on the Riverwalk. I would love to see that open. Hopefully, in the future, we can get some people together and work on this because I do think it is an asset to Millville. Mary and Mr. McQuaid and Rich, I'm sorry I didn't get your last name.
D'Almeida.
Okay, Mr. D'Almeida. I have your address. I am going to Streets and Roads tomorrow. We will get that pothole fixed. County Road is Sharp Street, but I will let them also know that there's a pothole there. Steve Soloff, thank you for gathering the information. I was new to this last year, so I didn't really get involved, but I'm seeing what you're doing. And for that, a little progress each day adds up to big results, and please be kind to each other. Thank you.
Thank you, Commissioner Husband. Vice Mayor Watson.
Regarding the issue with the clerical error, Brock, did you want to, fill everybody in on what we discussed today?
Well, all I can say is that I did receive a letter from Mr. Heck, an opinion that I think addresses that issue, and I would be happy to provide that to the commission, and they can read it.
Sounds good.
It speaks for itself.
Perfect. Thank you.
For later.
What's that?
Stay with us for later.
Yeah. Anything further?
Yeah, I'm just debating. The conversation I had with my wife this morning as I walked out the door, she looked at me and she goes, I know you have a long day, but just remember at the end of the day, don't piss the guy off all the way to the right. And I'm thinking about that. I know she's watching, and I don't want to let her down. I really don't. And then Commissioner Costa says, be friendly. And I just had a meeting with one of my guys, and we were talking about leadership skills, and I said to him, I'm saying this to him, I said, leave your emotions out of it. You're a leader. You're better than that. And it's really hard to be right there right now, I'll tell you that much. I can tell you from Mr. Cott, there was an attempt made to try to get somebody that was dedicated to grant writing. Now, we do have people within the city, like engineering that work on these, like police and fire that work on these. So there are people that do them, but somebody that's dedicated to it. We actually had somebody that was previously employed here that was willing to do that for us and willing to take on more responsibility, and that person's no longer here. There was a big push to try to get that. Didn't work. For the paving project at Laurel Lake, there was a meeting that happened right before the last, there was a meeting with Commissioner Costabun, Streets and Roads and Engineering, right before the last meeting. And a lot of things were brought up, and, it was kind of just a group discussion on, how do we advance and how do we move forward. And a lot of things got brought up. And when you're on here, when you're in the spotlight, some of the things you forget to say, like saying, hey, we would really like to see water be distributed to Laurel Lake. But if we pave the roads and then put the water in, we're going to be cutting up the roads we just paved. So there's a lot of variables to consider. Just one of the things that was mentioned in the meeting was saying, hey, if we used the money that we have available to hire outside for engineering, that's going to be less asphalt we put down, basically, in simple terms. So there's a lot to consider. It's not just one or two reasons, even though they might not all be specified at the same time. Yeah, I'll I'm gonna go home tonight, and hopefully my wife will tell me good job, and that's what I'm gonna end with.
Number's 11.
Understood, Commissioner, Vice Mayor Watson, thank you. As Steve said, he wants to get more involved. I'm going to get more involved. And early voting begins today from June 3rd to the 8th. There is no primary for anybody that's running for commission in Millville because we are a nonpartisan election, if you didn't know that. But for the primaries, it is upcoming, which the primary, if you do want to vote in date, is June 10th. But if you want to get it early and get it out of the way, go to the Millville Women's Club at 300 East Street, Millville, New Jersey, on Tuesday, today through Saturday from 10 a.m. to 8 p.m. or on Sunday, 10 a.m. to 6 p.m. No appointments are required. Newell, thank you for the Millville Soccer Association's update. I do follow it very closely on Facebook, and I remember hearing your story on how you became that, I believe, on with a Mr. Quinn show, and he basically were given the keys and said, hey, figure it out. So it's, I know you like your neighbors very well, and you're going to get new neighbors hopefully sometime in the near future, and I know you'll be a good host to them surrounding your area and to always help improve the Millville Soccer Association. Steve, yes, I do appreciate what you do. I see your signs all over. You are 100% right of there is no news. I don't know how many times I've heard residents and meeting residents that had no clue who I was. And I can excuse them for their early time of our tenure that, we got to get out there and get known. But everybody wants the Millville Daily back, including myself. But that's not going to happen, not unless some billionaire wants to lose his millions of dollars for a newspaper that only the diehards want to read. And I still like reading a newspaper every now and again. So you do provide a great service to those that want to be informed. So thank you. Rich, I understand you. Thank you for being here. Mr. Spranga, Michelle maybe works 5 hours a week, maybe 0. It depends on the week that I have upcoming. If I need to ask her to schedule a meeting with somebody else in the city or somebody else in another city. Tomorrow, her and I will be attending an event in Mars River Township. It's being attended by a lot of state legislators and officials. It was an invite. I said, I'll go. This is perfect for her to experience something outside the city that she would be willing to attend. I did ask her. She could have denied as well. The Riverwalk. The Riverwalk is a Millyard Riverfront Transportation Alternative Project federal grant.
Wrong one. Wrong one. He's talking about the other side of the task force.
That's right.
We actually had a discussion to put that in the bond ordinance. We're working on that in Capitol.
Okay. Yes, it's a very, you're right, thank you for it is a very beautiful area, and, there's your updates, so kudos to including that. But it is a beautiful area, and last Friday, wasn't it exceptional weather and really nice? Unlike probably tomorrow and this Friday is going to be a little warm, but I'm ready for it. Rick, I had somebody 4 years ago, as soon as I came on the commission, wanted to be a city grant writer for free. Guess what? Can't do that for the city. We got to pay you something, whether it's part-time or full-time. Guess what? Don't have the money. But I have an individual willing to do it, but gotta find that money. I thank each and every one of you being here tonight. I thank for all those that came, all those that have watched, and as well, my quote of the day from BradyQuotes.com that I Google every single time. Success is getting what you want. Happiness is wanting what you get. Dale Carnegie. Motion for adjournment.
Make motion.
All in favor?